And it is another black eye for Albuquerque's police department. The sergeant who ran a red light and hit and killed a young woman back in February is now facing vehicular homicide charges.
This case not only cost 21-year-old Ashley Browder her life, it could also cost the city another fortune in court. The criminal complaint doesn't say much more than what has already been made public. Sergeant Adam Casals was off duty in his police SUV with the emergency lights on February 10th after midnight. He's accused of speeding through a red light on Paseo del Norte and Eagle Ranch, then plowing into a Honda SRV. Ashley Browder was killed, her younger sister seriously injured. Casals claimed he was going after a drunk driver but never called it in. Casals was on his way home after visiting his wife, who, by the way, is an overnight dispatcher for BCSO, the investigating agency. He is charged with vehicular homicide for driving recklessly. He is suspended with pay. His preliminary hearing is in 2 weeks. Another APD officer, this one charged with aggravated battery. He's expected to be in court this morning. Officer Connor Rice is accused of tasing, beating, and stepping on a man he was trying to arrest. Rice's lawyers are expected to make a motion to compel the state to produce discovery. Investigators say lapel camera video caught Rice and 2 other officers being too rough on people they were arresting. Rice was put on administrative leave. The other officers were put on desk duty. We will be in court this morning and let you know what happens at noon.
Another one of Albuquerque's police shootings is justified, so says Bernalillo County's district attorney. The DA says there was nothing wrong with Officer James Perdue killing Michael Marquez during a SWAT standoff in a field on the west side in August of 2011. Marquez was a gang member, wanted for 3 armed robberies, and was carrying a bag with an AK-47 in it with his hand on the trigger. When he raised the gun, Officer Perdue shot and killed him. Well, this morning we can tell you the name of the man, drug agent, shot and killed in Carlsbad on Monday. He is David Wesley. He was 35 years old here. He's from Artesia, and he was wanted on an outstanding felony drug warrant. Agents with the Pecos Valley Drug Task Force tried to arrest David at a motel on Monday. They say they got into some kind of an altercation with him, then shot David twice and killed him. Well, the search is still on for a man and a woman involved in a violent home invasion in northeast Albuquerque that ended with a chase and gunfire. Police say a couple knocked on the door of a house here near Constitution and San Pedro yesterday morning. The woman claimed she needed to use the bathroom. Then the man barged in, kicked a 68-year-old woman inside, and pistol whipped the 70-year-old man who was on the phone with 911. Police say the attackers took off, but a concerned neighbor followed the car. That's when the man started shooting, hitting the car, but thankfully not the neighbor. The 2 did end up getting away.
Roswell police are looking for a suspect they say tried to lure 2 young children to his car. It happened back on March 14th in the 700 block of North Atkinson. The parents didn't report it until yesterday, but they say 2 5-year-old kids were playing outside when a man in a Jeep Cherokee approached them. He apparently offered toys and was trying to get them into his SUV, but when one of the boys' fathers drove up, he drove off. If you have any information about this incident, you're asked to call police. You know the guy accused of breaking into actor Bryan Cranston's car and stealing a Breaking Bad script? Well, what he wore to court now has made him the suspect in another theft. Xavier McAfee was caught after allegedly bragging about the situation at a local bar about stealing or burglarizing Cranston's car. A man who saw our story and saw McAfee's court appearance Monday says he realized that the Imperial car club jacket McAfee wore in court was actually his. Anthony Salas says someone stole it from his truck outside Hotel Albuquerque last month.
When I first saw it on TV, I recognized it immediately because there was only 3 of those jackets that were produced in Albuquerque.
Sheriff deputies returned the jacket to Salas last night. McAfee claims he didn't steal it, but rather that he found it in the courtroom. The Breaking Bad script, by the way, still missing.
Well, is there a firebug on the loose in the Sandia foothills? Possibly, because 5 fires were set there early yesterday morning, all along Tramway between Montgomery and Comanche.
One of the fires did get dangerously close to 2 homes, so of course that is concerning to us, that there may be structure or maybe, lives that are threatened.
The firefighters haven't said if these fires are related to the one someone set in the foothills Sunday night. Remember, last summer, suspicious fires were popping up in the same area. Investigators never caught who did those. and lowering the chances of wildfires. Exactly why State Land Commissioner Ray Powell put up new fire restrictions this week. He says the drought and high winds are creating a bad combination this spring. So now, smoking, open fires, and fireworks all prohibited on state trust land. And starting in July, firefighters will also begin thinning the brush to reduce the fire threat.